Let's talk about Kang, the Conqueror. Yes, and Loki. In episode 5, when he had met his glorious purpose and other variants, how do we know Doctor Strange isn't a variant of Loki? Variants don't have to look like you. Sometimes they do, but in other times they, necessarily don't. So it is necessarily possible that maybe you might find a variant that don't look like you. As we can see, a lot of these different tropes were created. And this sets up the entire Marvel universe. That's how they knew that this Nexus event was important. That's why they had it go in the way that they were doing, because the Nexus event from Nexus beings like Wanda, Kang the Conqueror, that's going to be played out throughout the Marvel's new phase. The new phase to me will be better than the first phase that we've seen, or the last phase of movies. Because now we're going to get more characters that are younger playing these roles that we really want to see. Because a lot of these other movies had a sameness to them and they were pretty much done on Earth and everything. But as Marvel moves on, you can see that they can travel the universe. Guardians of the Galaxy really took us there and took us to the universes. Thor tried to do it, didn't really pan out the well with Thor. They kept bringing Thor back to Earth when all his adventures was mostly in space. Now Marvel's not afraid to go to space. So, right, everything doesn't have to be in New York. Now, variants to me are very different as far as wanting to know what they mean and what is the standards of how everything was going about. Loki Gator. Well, it showed that all Loki normally follow a same, purpose, or what you would call a certain destined, where they all destined to fail in the drive for power, in the betrayal. And then you saw a demon who was all keeping them there, keeping them all in play. Okay, that's Rampage. That's the wrong movie. But still, variants. They could be anything. As you see, that guy was a variant. Classic Loki. Now, classic Loki, to me, is like what I call original Loki. He's like this Loki had purpose. They felt there was another way for them to make it. Another purpose, another history. And seeing that their history was already written, that this is how it would end, and to see his death, Loki are destined to fail. That's the way he looked at it. But what you're going to learn is through the multiverse, everything could be redone. There's so many different variants and so many different universes. This is why you're going to have 3 Spider-Mans in one film. As you see, this variant of Loki is much more villainous, and she was not supposed to be a good person. She was meant to be bad. We really don't know why they wanted to shut her down. Loki was not meant to be evil. He just wanted to have a purpose. He didn't just want to be. He wanted his life to mean something. Now, when the war comes, and when you see Thor, the new Thor movie, you're really going to be blown away with how the multiverse with Thor, Love, and Thunder, how it's all going to play out now due to this switch in the multiverse, where we're going to see Jane with the hammer. Kang the Conqueror is said to make a grand entrance in the upcoming film, The Eternals. Because all of these things that transpired in Loki has opened the doors for an even larger world. Doctor Strange in the Mouth of Madness, or the Multiverse of Madness, is a play on the movie Into the Mouth of Madness. So when you're looking into the Mouth of Madness, you're talking about a classic movie one. And not only was that a classic movie, you're looking at what it brought to the table as far as visionary and darkness all at once and chaos. So Into the Mouth of Madness is going to start off mostly like that. Like, it's a big epic scene that's supposed to happen with Doctor Strange and Wanda, a fight scene that's supposed to be created because of this multiverse. Now, Kang the Conqueror. What about Kang? Right? What is Kang the Conqueror? Who is Kang the Conqueror? What is he going to bring to the table? Because the last episode was basically dialogue more than fighting. They mostly fought each other. Now, Kang the Conqueror may make an appearance in the Doctor Strange movie. But what we do know for a fact is that Ghost Rider and Namor is going to be in the movie. Kang, he who remains. What's up, Christian? I'm glad you're here. Ghost Rider is going to be in the Doctor Strange movie. There's rumors that Doctor Strange and Namor both are going to appear in that movie too, which is supposed to set up Black Panther too. Namor's going to be the main villain in Black Panther too. Bucky's supposed to go back and help. Well, then the new Secret Wars, the Avengers, the first Avengers movie that's going to come out, Secret Wars, is getting set up by Loki as well. Well, what Kane was telling you when they had the three beings here, like the Holy Trinity, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and all that stuff, what they were trying to do is they were trying to. No, Nicolas Cage is not playing Ghost Rider. What they were trying to set up, and when they got Kang the Conqueror and had him come in and play Kang, what they were doing was getting ready to set up a film where they can take this to a whole new level and introduce Kang the Conqueror in a whole new light. Now, when Kang came through and made the new cosmos, and they tried to make the Holy Trinity, and like he created that whole lie so people would believe it, because they're quick to believe that, and all these Nexus commercials didn't fool any of the comic book goers or people who purchase comic books, because we all knew about Secret Wars, we knew about Nexus beings, we read about all this stuff. So classics. So I'm thinking now that the Spider-Man, the new Captain America, the Fantastic Four, all of these things are going to be like a cosmic event to happen. And we're going to be stuck in a new era where the Thanos snap means basically nothing. So there are many variations of Kang the Conqueror. That's why people don't understand what they're seeing when they're seeing it. You're looking at Loki, right? King Loki. Loki always wanted to be adored. And in one multiverse variant of him, he's worthy enough to carry Manoa. In the What If series, it's supposed to come out on Disney Plus real soon. We're going to see what's going to happen with Tony Stark and Iron Man after the fact. And when this whole wave went down, there was an alternate ending that was released that had major changes to the entire episode. And the major change is that this post-credit scene is right here. Now, the reason why is because that's all you were supposed to really see was a small version of Kang the Conqueror. You weren't supposed to get all of this. And this was due to COVID. They were filming the movie, and because of COVID, they had no Kang scenes whatsoever in the original concept. Kang was only going to make an appearance, and then that was it. But because of COVID being lifted in enough time, they decided to go ahead and get these scenes shot and put them in the film. So now, post COVID, I'm very glad they did it this way. It would have ruined Loki if we only got to see a shot of Kang the Conqueror, then he goes off. People don't realize Kang the Conqueror has many versions of himself from many universes, many multiverses, and now this is him in the physical. Once she decided to take his life, spoiler warning, it's already gone. Once this was taken, once these things were removed from him, all of the illusions, you don't think Kangan's going to be as big as we think he's going to be? I think he's going to be that and even more. Because Kang is going to be personally responsible for what's happening here. He's going to be stretching over into many different films. He's supposed to make a guest appearance in the Eternals. But which version of him? That's why he said, you can't kill me. He knows about the multiverse. He knows about time. He created these three wise men, basically, to project the lie of the black god. They create the Holy Trinity to cover it up. This was a symbol of that. They didn't want to show a black god, a black guy in charge. And it was put in place to keep people calm. If they knew 3 time gods were watching over time instead of 1 black guy's in charge. Yeah, see, people would feel safe to know that, hey, that black guy's there. Now, is Wanda a variant of Kang the Conqueror? Or are they both just Nexus beings? And he sensed what she was going through and when she made her transformation. So that's why when Loki was coming out, they both interacted with one another. Oh, that's Lovecraft County, which isn't coming back for another season because he's not coming back. He's going to be here in the Marvel Universe. He said, I remember they was leaving the show. He said, we got 3 of them. But yeah, there are many versions of Kang the Conqueror. We might be looking at one of the nicest versions of him in his human form. Now, Kang as Conqueror he's through time. So if you like kill a version of him or a variant, he comes back in different forms, in different ways. And remember, he created Miss Minutes. Now, Miss Minutes seems like she's from another time, from a technology that didn't exist in the universe, but it seems to be something futuristic and dated to bring Miss Minutes in. Yeah, I think Miss Minutes is a lot more to her than we really know. And there's going to be more to come with Miss Minutes. But I think that is probably going to be a Loki thing only with Miss Minutes. I don't know if she makes herself to the big screen and we see her in WandaVision. I think we'll see her mainly in the Loki series. Now, Gugu's character, she plays the love interest, and she's going to be diehard all the way in on um, Kang the Conqueror. That is Kang the Conqueror's woman. This is one of the great scenes from the Spider-Man movie. Well, Kane's a little different. Kane comes in from a whole different perspective. What does Kane want? Well, it's quite obvious. His trophy room. You looked in that trophy room? It's nothing but Easter eggs all over it. You have to pause it and look at all the collections of things he got in the past. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Fantastic Four. All these movies are attached to one thing: Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, now you can have a different Iron Man. It all would make sense. Kane has altered the timelines. So now they've already talked about the What If series where Tony Stark's wouldn't be Iron Man, that Iron Man would be someone else. I forgot who they had in it. It's Iron Man. And then they had the female Captain America. And that's Kane's love interest. Now, a lot of scenes have been moved around and they're going to start exploring it more in season 2. The reason why Loki is getting a season 2 and WandaVision wasn't is because WandaVision and Captain America and the Winter Soldier, that has changed. Falcon and the Winter Soldier has now turned to Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That's going to be a new reality taking place. And you might be like, well, what's that new reality that they have that's taking place? The new reality is that things are changing. There is an entirely different scenario that people know very little about. But the scenarios are changing. Day in and day out. But Kane has a master plan to rule all the multiverses and all the universes, all in one. He gets to go where he wants to go, when he wants to go, and do it the way he wants. How does this affect Deadpool? I like that scene because now the 3 wise men are gone in that location. It's just Kane and with the statue. Mm-hmm. Ant-Man and the Wasp is supposed to have an appearance by one person, one member of the Fantastic Four. But in the Eternals, we supposed to see an appearance by King the Conqueror. To what degree, we don't know yet. That's the movie Marvel is afraid of. They're afraid that Eternals is gonna flop. They're really afraid of it because that can put a lot of things in limbo. Yeah, it's a lot going on at that time. But chill here for a minute, I'll be back. On the highway ahead. Had to take a leak. Well, the Eternals were created to try to get all these big name stars in the movie. Like they got Angelina Jolie to do it. So that made everybody jump, of course. Ooh, Angelina Jolie. So we got her to do a superhero movie. Now, what they have to beware is DC is secretly making their pop. Uh-oh. They made a lot of money. Okay, there we go. They made a lot of money off of one franchise that has been taken over. Shazam! So because of Shazam's success, they were able to do quite well. But something else did better than Shazam. That did it quietly. Aquaman. And Aquaman 2 is coming out, but based off that and the Snyder Cut, they finally got greenlit to do The Flash, which was supposed to be called Flashpoint. Now the movie is just being called The Flash, which has two Batmans in it from two different timelines. You got Michael Keaton's Batman, and then you have Ben Affleck's Batman. Both Batman are going to be in the movie. Wonderful, isn't it? The Black Widow story was trash. The backstory. I don't think it was a trash movie. I really don't. I think it was a decent movie. I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons, they had to do their women power thing. But the hard thing I had was I didn't really believe them. Like the Russian girl, I really believed that they were in this cult where they were super soldiers. They too emotional. Everybody crying in the damn movie. I'm like, huh? I thought y'all was the doggone widows. Her sister don't even look like she can kick some ass. She look like she out of shape. Everything she doing, uh, but that's what I'm saying. Other than that, I could deal with the movie and by making it all women. Flash will do better than Black Widow. It might be. I mean, what hurt Black Widow is the fact that there was no buzz for Black Widow. We've seen Black Widow in like everything. We haven't seen the Flash, except for the TV show. But in the movies, we always wanted to see the Flash, and then we got a glimpse of him in the Justice League movie. And he was like one of the bright spots in the movie. And then they turned around and put him in this new phase. Yeah, that was the whole key for her to introduce her sister into the Marvel universe, which is going to set up the Hawkeye series. Her and Hawkeye are going to team up. And her daughter, who's going to end up being Hawkeye, that he's been training, she's going to take over for Hawkeye. So, will Hawkeye die in the series? I don't know. He might. And his daughter might take over and end up fighting her sister. Where she'll realize that she's being manipulated into killing him when he isn't the reason she died. But we all know that, but the sister don't know that for some reason. I think Matt Reeves getting an okay from Tim Burton. Like Tim Burton was okay with Matt Reeves doing it, which was going to make Keaton be all in. So I think that was key to getting it done. For me, that's your attack on Batman. Everybody got their attacks. Everybody got their attack on something. I'm more interested in the fallout now. You see what Marvel has, DC has tried to do, but by them having to deal with Warner Brothers, it has altered their realities. They always have good ideas, but don't want to follow through. Now they're doing the right things. Michael B. Jordan is taking the series over and going to create a Superman series based off Superman from Earth 2. The guy who was Val Zod, who was from Krypton. So he's taking that over, and you're going to see a series on HBO Max. That's going to be crazy. Well, the thing is that Falcon and the Winter Soldier was never meant to be but one season. That's going to bridge into movies. WandaVision was meant to bridge into movies. They were going to bridge that into to get you into excited about Wanda and bring Wanda into the Doctor Strange movie. So that was already the bridge into a movie. Loki was never meant to bridge into another movie. Loki was meant to bridge himself to continuously do this show. That was it. Loki was brought in to be the engine to shoot off the entire Marvel universe now. They were going to use that episode or that show to introduce Kang the Conqueror and launch the whole new multiverse. Now, that's already in play. Now you have season 2 of Loki. Now, season 2 of Loki is going to be really interesting because does Kang still be the main guy there? What's happening with the multi-universe? They're going to try to put this thing back into play. Owen Wilson is not signed to go into any movies, only the Loki series that appears on Disney+. So seeing Val Zod will be very interesting on the screen. So when they were saying he's going to be Superman, they were thinking he's going to be the new Superman now. It's not what you think. The same way they got about 3 different Jokers in 3 different movies coming out. The way they can have that done, they can have this done. I mean, the Joker had so many movies out, it was crazy. I'm like, another Joker movie? What is going on here? There are limitless amount of variations for Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is what you would call, now that he's released, he knows how to extend himself through time. Now, she's the one now. It's supposed to be on her. She's the one that's supposed to be in charge by illusion. Now Kang the Conqueror is free from all burdens here in this universe. Now he wanted them to take his place. Now he wants to go all about. Like he said, we've hit a threshold. I don't know what's going to happen now. We went past the part where I know what's going to happen. Like I wanted you guys to get here. Yeah. Well, we might still be getting that flashpoint because even though Michael Keaton is Batman, they did not say he was Bruce Wayne. He could be playing Thomas Wayne in a flashpoint. So always be leery of that. He could be playing Thomas Wayne. Because they could be in an alternate timeline. Alternate reality. Yep. And Thomas Wayne is now Batman, and Bruce Wayne didn't survive. His son got killed in the alley. And the wife ends up being the Joker after watching her son get killed when they altered the timeline. No, that's what everyone else is saying. Michael Keaton is Bruce Wayne and he's Batman. That's what they're saying. That ain't what everybody else is saying. They just know Michael Keaton is coming. He played Bruce Wayne in the other three, and he's coming back to reprise the role of Batman. Now, and when the time thing happens, he could be Thomas Wayne. He might not even be that guy anymore. If that makes any sense to you. Then you're going to have Bruce Wayne, played by Ben Affleck, meeting the other Batman, his father, Thomas Wayne, and then the both Batmans will meet each other and talk. I still think they're going to play that narrative. I think they're playing everybody to believe that this is the Bruce Wayne Batman, but I still think we're going to get the Thomas Wayne and that Bruce Wayne. I think it's going to be a trickery to throw people off. It'll be a good trick. Yeah, they teased his old suit. Right, it'll look just like the old Batman. Except for he'll be playing probably Thomas Wayne. Or he could just be the old Batman from 1989. That they morphed into this one. In either which way, long as Keaton is back, it works for me. What's good, Bear?
What's up, man? I see you over there working.
Oh yeah, man. We talking about Kang the Conqueror, all of it. So I'm gonna get ready to get off.